I looked at him and said, ew. And that's how I knew healing worked. No, seriously, come here. Because if you've ever looked at something you used to want, a person, a situation, a pattern, an outfit, you know that one outfit. The one you look back at like, what was I going through? Yeah, that. If you've ever looked at any of that and thought, why did I like this? That's not shade, that's growth. And nobody really talks about that part of healing. They talk about the glow up. They talk about the confidence. They talk about knowing your worth. But they don't tell you healing will make your old cravings feel unfamiliar, almost embarrassing, like I was really down bad. I really thought that was cute. And listen, no judgment, because we had to go through some things to get here. That version of you wasn't stupid. She wasn't desperate. She wasn't lacking discernment. She was surviving with what she knew at the time. And God used all of it, the good, the messy, the questionable decisions, the lessons you swore you'd never repeat. All of it worked together. So when you wake up one day and realize you don't crave the same attention, the same chaos, the same almost love anymore, that's not you acting brand new. That's you being newly aware. Healing changes your taste. You don't get excited by inconsistency anymore. You don't confuse intensity with intimacy. You don't romanticize struggle the way you used to. And at first, that can feel confusing, because instead of feeling proud right away, you feel off, detached, unimpressed, low-key bored, like, why don't I feel anything about this anymore? And Big Sis gotta say this gently. That's not you losing your spark. That's your nervous system finally relaxing. That's your spirit saying, we don't have to live in survival mode anymore. You start craving ease, clarity, peace that doesn't come with anxiety attached. And yeah, that kind of peace might feel unfamiliar at first, because when you're used to chaos, calm can feel boring. When you're used to proving yourself, consistency can feel suspicious. So if you're in this space where you're thinking, I don't want what I used to want, but I don't know what's next yet, let me tell you this with love. You're not broken. You're not confused. You're not behind. You're transitioning. And every version of you, the healed one, the healing one, and the one that had to learn the hard way, all of her was needed to get you here. So let's talk about the ick. Because the ick is not random. It's not you being dramatic, and it's definitely not you being too much. The ick is information. It's your body noticing things your mind used to ignore. It's that moment where someone says something, and instead of excusing it, you clock it. You don't argue with yourself anymore. You don't explain it away. You don't say, well, maybe they didn't mean it like that. You just sit there like, oh. And suddenly, the attraction starts slipping. You notice the tone, the inconsistency, the way they show up when it's convenient, the way they disappear when it's not. And healed you doesn't panic about that. Old you might have thought, what's wrong with me? Why am I pulling back? Why don't I feel excited? But healed you thinks, this doesn't feel safe. And that is a big shift. Because before healing, your nervous system was trained to chase familiarity. Chaos felt like chemistry. Inconsistency felt like intrigue. Breadcrumbs felt like hope. But now, your body wants receipts. Your spirit wants clarity. Your peace wants consistency. And when those things are missing, your attraction shuts down. That's the ick. It's not judgment, it's discernment. I remember having moments where I'd catch myself thinking, I used to fight for this. I used to cry over this. I used to explain myself to this. And it wasn't arrogance, it was awareness. Healing didn't make me heartless, it made me honest. And here's the part nobody warned you about. When you heal, you don't just stop craving unhealthy things. You stop having the capacity to tolerate them. Your tolerance drops. Your patience shortens. Your appetite changes. Not because you're better than anyone, but because you've learned what it costs you to stay. So when something gives you the ick now, don't rush to override it. Don't shame yourself for it. Don't force attraction where your spirit is already withdrawing. That ew moment, that's wisdom tapping you on the shoulder saying, we've been here before. We're not doing that again. And if that feels uncomfortable, good. Growth is uncomfortable before it's peaceful. When your new taste gets a reaction, because once your taste changes, people don't just notice. They start saying things like, you acting different. And honestly, yep, you right. I did change. Not because I think I'm better, but because I deserved better. I changed because I got tired of the status quo, tired of explaining myself, tired of having to prove my worth, tired of pretending I felt good when stuff was quietly draining my energy. I changed because I stopped ignoring myself. And that kind of change, that makes people uncomfortable. Because healed you doesn't argue her point anymore. She doesn't give disclaimers. She doesn't soften the truth so it's easier to swallow. She just stands where she stands. And when people were used to you bending, adjusting, making things work no matter the cost, your stillness feels loud. Your boundaries feel personal. Your no sounds aggressive. Your peace feels suspicious. So the reactions come. Some folks get quiet. Some folks get weird. Some folks start acting like you did something to them. They'll throw little comments out there just to see if the old version of you is still available. If you'll explain yourself, if you'll feel guilty, if you'll backtrack. And the healed version of you, she clocks it and keeps it moving. Because here's the real truth. When you heal, your new taste exposes who benefited from your old one. Some people liked you better when you were unsure, when you were flexible, when you tolerated things just to keep the peace. Your growth removes access, and not everybody knows how to process that with maturity. So if you felt people acting funny, pulling back, or projecting onto you, that's not you doing too much. That's the dynamic changing. And listen, you don't owe anyone the old version of you. You're not required to shrink back down to make other people comfortable. Your evolution doesn't need approval. It needs alignment. And yeah, that might mean fewer people in the room, but it also means way more peace in your body. And honestly, that trade is always worth it. Laughing while you release the guilt. Now listen, this is usually the part where things get a little heavy. So if you just took a deep breath without realizing it, yeah, that's this part. Because once your taste changes, you don't just stop wanting certain things. You start looking back like, what was I doing? And not even in a mean way. More like, I really thought that was normal. You start replaying moments in your head, why you stayed, why you tolerated it, why you ignored what you can clearly see now. But here's the thing, it's not just about relationships, it's everything. You start asking yourself, why was I eating like that? Why did I stop caring about my body for a while? Why did I let my space get so chaotic? Why did I ignore my intuition when it was being loud? Why did I keep pouring into everybody else and barely show up for myself? Why did I let life just happen to me instead of choosing myself inside it? And if you're not careful, those questions turn into guilt. You start being hard on yourself, judging the past version of you with the clarity you didn't have back then. But let's be honest for a second. We've all had that moment where we look back and say, whew, God had his hand on me because, baby, that wasn't wisdom, that was endurance. You didn't make those choices because you were careless. You made them because you were tired of surviving, tired of holding everything together, tired of being strong without being supported. Some seasons, you weren't letting yourself go, you were overwhelmed, disconnected from your body, disconnected from your needs, disconnected from your own voice. Survival will have you calling stress normal, calling chaos familiar, calling crumbs enough. Survival will have you saying, it's fine, when it is very much not fine. So when you look back now and think, I would never do that today, good. That's not shame, that's growth. Growth isn't about judging who you used to be. It's about understanding her. The version of you that stayed too long, she was trying to keep things together. The version that overgave, she wanted to be loved. The version that ignored red flags, she was hoping things would get better. None of those versions were stupid. They were doing what they knew how to do with the tools they had at the time. So you don't owe your old self embarrassment. You owe her grace. Because she carried you through a season you didn't yet have language for. And now that your taste has changed, that just means the lesson finally settled in. Not because you're better, but because you're clearer. Letting the shift be enough. So if your taste has changed, don't explain it. You don't need to. You don't owe a speech, an explanation, or clarity to anyone but yourself. Sometimes growth doesn't need words, it needs energy. You move slower now. You think longer. You don't rush toward things the way you used to. Not because you're unsure, but because you're finally listening to what you need. Listening to your body. Listening to that quiet feeling that says, yeah, this isn't it for me anymore. And presence will change your standards without you trying to. You'll notice yourself choosing differently without having to convince yourself why. That's growth. Everything you lived through sharpened you. It prepared you. It pushed you closer to the gift that's meant to serve you well. And now you get to move with that awareness instead of fighting it. So if something no longer fits, you don't have to force yourself back into it. Let the shift guide you. Let it protect your peace. And if this episode stirred something in you, sit with it. Notice what feels heavy now. Notice what feels lighter. That contrast, that's healing doing its work, quietly, naturally, and that's enough. Before you go, I want you to sit with this affirmation. Say it with me, or just let it land. I trust the shift happening inside me. I don't force myself to want what no longer fits. I honor my growth even when it looks quiet. I release guilt for who I had to be to become who I am now. My taste changing is not a loss, it's alignment. And I allow myself to move forward without apology. And now I want to pray for you. God, thank you for the woman listening to this right now. Thank you for the growth you've been doing in her quietly, in the pauses, in the discomfort, in the moments where she chose herself even when it felt unfamiliar. Give her peace with the shift happening inside her. Help her trust her discernment and not second-guess the wisdom you've placed in her body. Release her from guilt about who she used to be. Cover every version of her with grace, the one who survived, the one who learned, and the one who is becoming. Strengthen her boundaries, steady her spirit, and guide her toward what actually nourishes her. Let her walk forward clear, grounded, and unbothered by what no longer belongs. Amen. If this episode spoke to you, take what resonated and let the rest go. You don't have to rush this season. You're not behind. You're becoming. This is Unthreaded, where we talk about the parts of growth that don't always get posted. Until next time, trust the shift. It knows where it's taking you, sending you peace, love, and light. Until next time.